Radio to Pow is a Powcast online at mixcloud.com/Radio to Pow.
I just told him my story that, the adversity I've been through and, my grit and determination and how I'll win this summit. So you better choose me.
Yes. And with the adversity part, that's where I'll hold it on in. On a serious note, that adversity comes from when you were quite young, when you were only about the age of 15.
Yeah.
You're okay to talk about it. It's the loss of your father at the age of 15.
Absolutely. So he was 36 when he was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumour, which, you're very vulnerable in your teenage years, and I think these are very important years of your life. I was very, very close to him. My parents had already separated, so I'd been through a little bit of trauma of that, but I was daddy's girl, and that rocked our world. And within 2 years, he passed at 2.5 years at 39 of a brain tumour, which had a profound impact on my life at 15.
What's your father's name?
His name's Andrew. Everyone knew him as Andy or Killer
Kilowsky.
Kilowsky. Absolute legend. So that was really difficult at school.
Of course.
I was going through a lot of bullying at school, and it was a really difficult time. So
it's an age where you're going through puberty and all of that. You're trying to socialise, and on your mind and on your heart is the loss of your father. And I can relate on a level there. I lost my mother Fiona at an early age, and it's just never been the same since. But you kind of channel it in, and you get their power or their energy, and you're obviously the DNA of your father, so you're part of Andrew, and you've done a killer job of smacking it in on the summit, and he would be very proud of you watching over. And I know that with the summit, you had times where you had to really dig deep. In that digging deep, was it your dad?
Absolutely, it was my dad. The producers knew about that, so they were like, "Is your dad with you? Like, what was your dad?" And that pushed me through. I think when you battle adversity, it does make you stronger, and it makes you determined, and it pushed me through that strength, because leading up to the summit, I'd realised that I'd suffered debilitating grief. So we were told as children, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. And then when my dad passed, nobody talked about him. We had no counselling, no help. So it was like, suck it up, move on. And this grief sat with me for 20 years. So leading into the summit, I was like, here I am, I'm ready to be vulnerable, I'm ready to talk, and I'm ready to feel these feelings. So leading up, I did all this fitness, mental training, and I tapped into that grief, and I went, when I'm away, I'm going to really embrace this moment where I'm not working, I'm out in this beautiful landscape, and really I tapped into that grief, and I cried when I, felt like crying, and the summit was a healing process for me, for that grief. And I can tell you, although it's sad he's passed, I don't have that debilitating grief. I feel the love in life, and I've realised through grief, grief tells you that you were loved and you were once loved.
Yeah, true. Very
and
true.
I never looked at grief like that. It flipped it to a positivity, because I felt unloved my whole life.
There you go. Wow. That actually helps me as well, that little spin to go a little bit more on the positive side of life. Yeah. Because you're right, that's something you probably forget about, is that, hey, there was love there. That was all part of it, and you've got love in your heart.
Yeah.
And you took that into the summit as well.
Waterloo, what you gonna do? It's just a phase I'm going through. It says,
if he's not gonna have a good game, he's probably gonna still be on the bench, regardless of if he's the next gen player or not. And when that kind of pressure came in, and then the role of the GM or the CEO is different. Like me and Brian Gordon engaged.
You're watching the highlights of the Basketball Timeout Show episode where I went to the 36ers arena and caught up with Joey Wright. This is fully edited. If you want the full episode, scroll on through Saltbush Television. Timeout Show. This is the highlights
go. The basketball time out show. The squeaky floorboards are pumping here at the 36ers Arena. Joey Wright in the background. We're about to have a chat with NBL legend Joey Wright. Adelaide Lightning ripping it up. Check it out, the talent. If you do, make sure you check out WNBL. Adelaide Lightning. Oh, what's going on here? Are they real? What's happening here? Oh, gotta check out Joey Wright. What's going on, man? You're
What's
here.
happening? What's happening?
Hey, you down for a chat, bro?
Yes, sir. Let's go. The role of the CEO is getting to this team. Me and John Wood for days. Fair about the people don't have the qualifications, so that was very frustrating.
The basketball timeout show. Yo, Jahmin with you on the basketball timeout show, part of Saltbush television and radio. KA-POW. Joey Wright, 36ers coach, played NBA, come over to Australia, played the NBL in the early 90s. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Doing well, man. Thanks for having me on. We talked about this for a while.
Total honour.
We finally got it done.
Total honour, because in the stands I was always cheering out. Going, man, thank you so much for what you've done for the Adelaide 36ers. You know how much I love it. And man, I'll always put you right up there with Phil Smythe, Ken Cole, Joey Wright for the Adelaide 36ers, man. My vibes.
Thank you.
Yo, let's get back on the court.
Let's go.
Check out my entire chat with Joey Wright right here on Saltbush Television. Subscribe.
Joey.
Hey Joey, and scroll on through.
Basketball time
Go to the basketball timeout show.
To be continued.